Hi guys, Dan and Steph here, and we're going to show you how to create the perfect porchetta at home for the entire family using a delicious sun pork belly. Let's go. What's step one?
So step one, Steph, is we've got to score the pork belly. So very simple. We've just got a sharp knife and we're going to start in the middle and we're just going to come all the way to the end. So it's very important that we don't penetrate the skin too much into the flesh because we want it to cook fairly evenly and we don't want like hot spots where the Alright, so the pork's good. Now this is where I step out because I've got to say, in my butchering experience, and I've worked in a couple of butcher shops, Steph's about to show us how to truss a pork belly. And I've got to be honest, I'm not being biased because Steph's my wife, but she can truss pork belly better than some butchers I've worked with, and I'm not lying. So.
Okay, so you've really talked it up now. Really talked it up for me. So hopefully I can nail it for you guys. It's really super easy. I think some people really overcomplicate it. So you've done the scoring and we've also pre-done our porchetta stuffing. What we've done with the stuffing is that we've used our own sausages. So we use the 3 Aussie Farmers Dan and Steph sausages. We use the Louisiana, but you can use our farmhouse or you can use any flavour of our sausages, and we've just kind of put some garlic and we've got some fresh herbs in there, some parsley, rosemary, thyme, whatever you've got in the garden or whatever you've got in the fridge. So we've just kind of stirred that all together, and then what we're going to do is we're going to evenly spread this out across the meat side of the pork belly. Leaving about maybe a centimetre or a centimetre and a half type of edge, otherwise if you put it too far to the end, it is going to start coming out once you roll that pork belly. The flavour inside this sausage stuffing of the porchetta is so delicious, and we use our snags because it's already flavoured pork mix.
And it's also quite juicy, so there's there's a fair good amount of fat in there as well. So it's just going to make the pork belly that much moister. Like Steph here, this flavour combination, I've got to say, when she did this, is very, very good. One of the best. Perfect for Sunday roast.
Alright, as you can see, pretty even. We don't want a real thick filling because as you roll that pork belly, it becomes quite thick, and once it cooks, it congeals and gets nice and firm inside that porchetta.
Also, another tip too, guys, is any juices that come out of this, save it. It'll make the best gravy you'll ever eat in your life.
Indeed. Okay, so your filling is now in. So now what we need to do is simply roll this pork belly. It depends on the size and the shape of your pork belly, not going to lie. If you get 1 roll or you get 2 rolls, just work with what you've got. So I'm just going to quickly roll this, and it's really important that when you roll that seam is going to be on the bottom on the board. So now that you've got your pork belly and your porchetta nice and rolled, it's time to tie it. Now, you do need to have some quick kitchen twine to tie your porchetta, and it's a really simple process. So what I like to do is work at the bottom that's closest to you, and what we need to do first is get that twine underneath.
So another tip with this, guys, too, is go and see your butcher. He'd be more than happy to give you some decent butcher's twine as well.
Yeah.
Because the better quality, it means you're not going to break while cooking and all that sort of stuff.
That's right. So the first knot's quite important. So you're going to tie it probably a centimetre and a half from the end. And you need to pull nice and tight because it's going to bring the pork belly together and keep that stuffing inside. And you need to keep this little end here nice and free as well, and you'll see why at the end. Alright, good knot.
So just a normal knot.
Just a normal knot. Let's not overcomplicate things there. As you will see, nice and tight to bring the pork belly together. Now it's time to truss. If there's leakage of the stuffing coming out, that's totally fine. It is going to happen throughout this process because what you're doing is squeezing the pork belly together. So now we need to truss.
You've got to trust the truss.
You've got to trust the truss. So what I like to do is make sure that knot is nice and tight. And in the centre of our pork belly. Okay, so the simple way is you hold it up. I hold it with my left hand. I I'm going to twist it with my right. And I'm going to lift it and chop it through.
Is that it?
That's it, mate.
That's it.
And just be careful when you're pulling this meat down. You kind of hold it with your left hand and keep that stuffing within. And then pull down, pull down, pull down. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And tighten. So I like to keep the truss about 1.5 centimetres, even kind of ropes and strings all the way through. Twist, lift. So there we have our porchetta nice and truss, but now we have two little ends. What I like to do is, the ends that you've just last trussed over, I'm going to pop that back under the porchetta and we're going to tie these two ends together. What that helps with is keeping the entire roll together as well, and the ends of not seeping out when it's cooking as well. So tie just a simple knot here. Nice and tight. Trim those little suckers off. And there we have it.
Beautiful.
Your perfectly trussed porchetta. Now Dan scored the skin on this. Now the next step before it goes into the oven is...
Steph's done an amazing job with this beautiful porchetta. It smells really, really good. Now, into a tray. Now, another tip, guys, is you want to set this in the fridge overnight. And what that will do is harden that skin up, pull it out of the fridge, bring it to room temperature. We're going to go salt, so just sprinkling of salt. But what I like to do is I like to massage it into all those cracks. So you get nice, salty, crispy crackling. So once all in, then we're going to go with the olive oil. Too much, just enough to cover. And then I'm going to go second round of salt.
So what's that going to really help with the crackling and the bubbling?
The salt obviously dries out the skin as it cooks. And the oil's just going to help it crackle up. So.
You can just use normal sea salt that you have at home. You can use flake salt as well. Whatever you have, we'll do it a treat. There you are.
And there we have it. 250 degrees in the oven for half an hour. Drop it back to about 160, cook it out for about 2.5, 3 hours. And if it still hasn't crackled the way you want it, blast that oven to 250 for another 20 minutes. See how you go.
All right, in the oven it goes.